Hey, I'm Scott, and I'm talking to you about the difference between the pharmaceutical approach towards health and the natural approach towards health and where they collide. So the other day, someone asked me if we're holistic, and I kind of thought to myself, well, yes is the answer I want to say, but I think if you said to a room of 100 people, I'm holistic, you'll get 100 different ideas of what that means. Or you'll just think of, some hippie type putting grass in his underwear and running around and touching trees and stuff. In a sense, we are holistic because we do look at the body as a whole, and we architect our training programs and our treatment programs and our nutrition programs towards your body as a whole, not as a bunch of silos or individual categories. And that brings us to the broader topic, is where does natural medicine versus a more pharmaceutical approach to medicine fit into our healthcare system? When you're talking Eastern versus Western medicine, you get two massively different contrasts, and there's a few things that I think are really important to look at. One is people don't sue natural medicine practitioners, and people will sue Western medicine practitioners. And the reason why I think that's significant is because you see it in the processes of Western medicine. Is they dot their I's and cross their T's and make sure that they do things in a process, because if they don't do it that way, then they can get themselves in a lot of trouble. But then if you look at the Eastern approach or the naturopathic approach, then you'll get some naturopaths out there, granted, probably not super well educated naturopaths, and they'll say crazy outlandish stuff that you're like, okay, how can rubbing this ginger root on my eyelid cure my thyroid disease? Well, that's not really the way it is. That's not a thing, by the way, I don't know. But that person should not be saying something like, I can cure cancer, or don't worry about the fact that your gallbladder is about to explode, because I've got a root for that. It's just not fair. If I'm really thinking about where Sandbox Fitness camps, I think it camps right in the middle. And there's this emerging medical field called functional medicine, mostly started up by this doctor, an MD named Dr. Mark Hyman. And what he says makes a lot of sense. And he basically says there's gotta be a medium. But I think it's important to recognize that there's a lot of things pulling the Western medical industry one way, and there's a lot of things pulling the other way, the Eastern guys the other way, and they're just at war with each other. But I think as it relates to your specific health, I think you gotta find the harmony of both. I think just because something hurts doesn't mean you throw an anti-inflammatory at it. And just because cancer could be curable through something natural as opposed to chemo or radiation, doesn't mean you should say, I'm not doing chemo or radiation. So in conclusion, you got to find the harmony with what works for you. And in my experiences, if you're dealing with some health ailments, you should have a consultant that can speak both languages and help you navigate through what is otherwise a pretty foggy and conflicted industry.